At a time when there were few roads, a boat floated on the water would make the river into a waterway. Casting a net in the water would always result in a boat full of fish. And the trees from Gangwon province, which had come on the waterway, would be incinerated to create works of art. But with the construction of the dam, the waterway of Lake Paldang has disappeared. Today we will tell the story of that waterway. There was a time when Lake Paldang was a river. The Bukhan River, which flows from Mount Kumgang, converged with the Namhan River, which has its source in Taebaek of Gangwon province, in order to create Tumulmori. It connected Tuksum Narudok in Seoul with Mapo Narudok. But everything changed with the construction of Paldang Dam in 1973. Fishing and building ships became forbidden, and one could no longer see sailboats on Lake Paldang. With the disappearance of the waterway, the docks on the waterway also disappeared. Since then, the lives of the people of Punwon-ni, located near the water, has also changed drastically. An Ho-myung, who is 74 years old, has never left Punwon-ni in his entire life. But after the construction of the dam, the villagers who did not fish left the village one by one. The old man can only fish the lake on a rowboat. Once, the village had over 100 households, but now only 38 remain. The sight of people farming in the village by the river has become all but an ancient memory.
경치도 좋고 그때는 밭이 많으니까 살만했죠. 댐 되고 나서 보면 그때는 뭐 보리도 괜찮았고 농사지어가 전부 여기는 그 배추 그런 거 재배하고 배추 씨 그저 종자 이런 거나 채취하고 그랬었으니까 그때는.
The old man has been fishing these waters for the past 40 years.
큰 거 걸렸다. 이 가물치는 성격이 급해서 이게 그물에 걸리면 또 가끔 나와서 숨을 쉬어야 되는데 이 그물에 걸리면 숨을 못 쉬니까 금방 죽어요. 그래서 이건 산채로 잡기가 힘들어요. 이 붕어 나오는 거 이게 참 붕어예요. 봐요.
The stone morogo is the most famous fish caught in the waters here. This is because the lake has been designated as a drinking water source protection zone, making the water even cleaner.
많이 올라오네요, 아버지.
예, 그래도 좀 올라오는데 날이 좋도 그래도 고가 좀 잡혔어요.
Although he has been fishing here all his life, he still cannot predict the day's catch.
욕심 부린다고 돼요. 물속에 있는 게 그저 잡히는 대로 그날 그렇게 사는 거지 뭐 그걸 억지로 어떻게 잡아요. 욕심 부려봐야 소용없어요.
He would be grateful if the day's catch was better than the last. And if it wasn't, he would head home with the hopes of a bigger catch tomorrow. Life is like a box of chocolates. The old man knows that you never know what you're going to get, no matter how many times you cast your net into the water. After the construction of the dam, it seemed that the village was doomed to become a ghost town. But then, the people who visited in order to view the scenery of the lake fell in love with the stewed carp. And soon the village made a dramatic turnaround, gaining renewed popularity for its stewed carp. It's the meeting between carp and radish greens, dried with the help of the wind from the lake. People fell in love with this combination and visit the village every time they come to Lake Paldang. In a sense, the stewed carp is a taste created by the disappearance of the river.
참 좋다.
국물이 식으면 우묵처럼 우려요. 그러기 때문에 건강에 좋은 거거든요.
네. 옛날 댐 되기 전에도 이녀 붕어를 많이 잡아서들 잡섰는데 그때는 이 찜이 되는 게 없었어요. 그때는 저 매운탕이나 하고 그러다 이제 이 찜이 되는 건 이제 이 팔당 댐 되고 나서 그 이제 찜을들 하기 시작을 해가지고 여기가 그 광주시의 그 유명한데 붕어찜 마을이 그래서 된 거예요.
The disappearance of the waterway resulted in a beautiful lake, and it was the breathtaking beauty of the lake that began to draw people. After we ate the stewed carp, we followed along the water's edge until we happened upon a ferry. It is a powered ferry which carries people to and fro from Sucheongni in Gwangju and Dogongni in Yangpyeong.
열에 7분 열로 다녀. 마을버스 타고 첫 차는 가고 올 때는 일로 오고.
The Sucheongho is a ferry that only the villagers can take. Despite being close to Seoul, the villagers had to live as if isolated on an island due to Lake Paldang. To them, the ferry is an indispensable means of transportation. This is especially true for the old lady who has bad legs. Born and raised in Sucheongni, Chung Wang-soo has been the captain of the Sucheongho for 15 years. He is a witness to the ferry and its long history of service to the locals.
나 태어나기 전부터 목선이 있어서 배 옛날에.
할아버지들이 목선.
목선. 나무뜨기 배 넣어주고 건너고.
그때 경치가 참 좋았겠네요.
좋았죠. 근데 그때는 여기 버스 차도 못 땡기고 사람 하나 겨우 댕길 길이 있었어요. 그게 전부 일로 댕겼어요. 그냥 전부.
It's quite difficult to reach Yangpyeong or Seoul from Sucheongni without taking this ferry.
어디서 가세요? 양평에서 가세요?
This is why everyone in Sucheongni has taken this ferry at least once. The villagers have a special way that they call the ferry.
이제 여기 백기가 있어 길을 올리면은 백기가 올리면은 선장님이 보시고 건너오고 또 아니면 그 핸드폰 그렇게 해서 연락이 돼서 건너다닙니다.
It takes half a day on land to reach the other side, but on the ferry, it only takes 5 minutes.
잘
고맙습니다.
잘 다녀오세요.
Today, the villagers are headed to Yangpyeongjang Market, which is held on the 3rd and 8th of every month. They have come here to buy and sell things their entire lives.
고맙습니다. 고맙습니다. 거기서 얘기를 해주면 내가 얘기를 해.
There is a place that they always visit when they come to this market. One of the great pleasures of coming to the market is to imbibe a bottle of soju accompanied by a mug bean pancake. Such pleasures would be unimaginable had they come here by land.
법에 아니면 여기 못 와요. 여기 못 온다고. 그럴 때는 팔당 땡 건너가지고 지하철 타고 이렇게 양평 이렇게 와야지 강은 못 건너거든요.
They head home with their groceries in hand. Then they raise the white flag. They are on their way back to Sucheongni, which is isolated from the mainland because of Lake Paldang. There is a waterway that still remains near the lake besides Sucheongni. The waterway wasn't used only to ferry people. 500 years ago, it was used to transport works of art. During the Joseon era, Bunwonri was home to the kiln which produced pottery for the royal household. The pottery that was created here was then transported on the waterway all the way to Seoul. Park Boo-won is a master of Gwangju royal pottery. He has settled down in this place because Gwangju was a location of the oldest royal kiln, along with Jingdezhen in China.
기록에 보면 그 뗏목으로 그 양구 강원도 양구 방산면이라는 데가 있거든요. 거기에서 백토와 도석을 날라다가 도자기를 만들었죠. 그래서 물기를 이용해서.
Park Boo-won first encountered pottery when he was 25 years old. Now he is making pottery along with his children. At first, Park Soo-yeol thought that his father's work with clay was full of difficulty. But now he walks in his father's footsteps without hesitation.
흙을 가지고 이렇게 어렸을 때 흙 가지고 이렇게 놀고 주로도 이제 놀이터가 가마 옆에 이렇게 그렇고 가마 옆에서 이렇게 흙을 만지고 이렇게 놀았던 그런 기억이 계속 이렇게 이제 어렸을 때 보아왔고 했기 때문에 굉장히 자연스럽게 그냥 이렇게 제가 이렇게 도자기를 하게 된 계기가.
Park Boo-won has children other than his son Soo-yeol.
아직도 뜨뜻하네.
His children are the pottery which he creates with great care and effort, molding, glazing, and baking in the heat of the kiln. It's the moment that the pottery first sees the light of day. But Park Boo-won doesn't lose his cool even now. He breaks the pieces which don't live up to his standards. It is only through such fastidious perfectionism that a true work of art is created. After having pursued his craft with dedication and fearless honesty for many years, people began to call him a master potter.
내 인생 전부라고도 과언이 아니죠. 이 도자기가 만들어지면서 이 마지막 이 불 가정까지 나오는 여정이 우리의 삶의 여정하고 비슷하다. 어려움도 있고, 아픔도 있고, 즐거움도 있고, 설레임도 있고.
This pottery contains the life of the master potter, and the waterway contains the history of this pottery. This is why the memories of the waterway will linger in our minds for many years to come.
이게 붕어 나오는 거 이게 참 붕어예요. 봐요.